Ho, 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 everybody. It's Santa Dave here, and I want to talk to you about the holiday 2024. Some of my suggestions for games to look at for either Black Friday or for Christmas time. Now, I'm going to skip some of the major games. We all know who the big players are. So, what I'm going to do is talk about a handful of games that I like to play that maybe you haven't heard of. Probably, maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But I just want to give some love to some of these games here that I enjoy playing. Okay. And this is not a knock on any other game, but these are some of the games I enjoy playing from time to time on my channel. So, let me get going here. Alrighty. So, first game I want to share with you is Payoff Pitch. Okay, this is I really like this game. Along with Apper and Strat, Payoff Pitch is up there with me for one of my favorite baseball games. And so I've included a link in the descriptions for all these games that I'm going to list here. And it's going to be Payoff Pitch, and they have PDF and they have printed versions. And I highly suggest, yes, and Barbara likes my Rangers jersey. highly suggest a printed version. The cards are fairly inexpensive and they're fantastic quality, and you get every single player from that season. So Payoff Pitch is kind of slowly becoming my go-to baseball game for certain things. Okay, so that would be my first one. Okay, next to my list, I would recommend Fury Football, and this is from Play Games, and this is a game that I played with Keith at the Pro Football Hall of Fame back in August. And in the first 5 minutes, I fell in love with this game. I am not a big fictional guy. Okay. I'm not a big fictional player when it comes to gaming. Sometimes it works, and Fury Football works for me. And the reason why is because it's not a football game. It's a variation of a football game. I forget what he calls it. Alternative sports, I think Keith calls it. But Fury Football is just so fun. And the reason is that you can really make it your own. Because it's not a football game, you can't break it. You can't break the game if you put in certain homebrew rules. And so I've added a couple of things that have made the game super fun for me. And I picked up the expansion. So I have the original 4 teams. I'm trying to play them out in a short season. And the game takes 10-15 minutes to play. It's a fast game. It really is. It's easy and it's fast. And there's a solo mode too, which I really enjoy. So what I'm hoping to do is, as I ordered the expansion set, after I finish my season, I'm going to set up some kind of a video where I roll the dice and figure out if any of the original 4 teams are leaving, if any of the original 4 teams are moving, and which 4 teams I'm bringing in, because I think you got 18 or 20 teams in that expansion set. So I'm going to bring in some of those expansion teams and make it an 8-team league. And I think I'll do a video on that. And I'll like roll dice and stuff to see who gets in. And maybe, between two expansion teams, we'll have like a roll the dice on like a bidding war or whatever it is. But I'm going to have some fun with that. I really enjoy Fury Football. Again, you've seen it on the channel. That's a game. If you haven't tried, really look into Fury Football. What's next to my list? And I see the chat here. I'll get to the chat in 1 second. Next to my list is, from Marco here, regular season basketball. Check this one out here. Link in the description. I stumbled on this, 4 years ago, and it is truly a fun game. You don't need to know anything about basketball to play this game, which is perfect for a guy like me. And there's 2 modes. There's a basic mode and there's an advanced mode. And in basic mode, you roll the dice and just get a final score. And you roll, I think it's in 3-minute blocks. And then you have the offense and the defense factored into that. So it's not like wicked basic, but I mean, it's so simple to play. And see if you can get the Celtics to beat the Atlanta Hawks if you get this game, will you? Because I can't. But regular season basketball is fun. And then if you wanted to go advanced, you can start adding in as many stats as you want. So you get your score during that 3-minute segment, and it breaks it down according to the dice roll of who gets what. And so if you get 6 points in that 3-minute span, you look on the chart and it tells you who got those 6 points and how they're allocated. Super fun game, regular season basketball. So if you're a casual basketball fan or a big basketball fan, go check out regular season basketball. They have added some new seasons too, so go check that out. I think they might even have college as well. But yeah, regular season basketball is on my list of games I would recommend. As far as football goes, I like Solitaire Pro Football. This is a full play game, so it's a play-by-play game. It's going to take a while. I think this flows so well that it is the fastest of the full play football games that I play. And I play a lot of them, and I like them all. I really do. This, I think, is the fastest. It's fairly inexpensive. Mike's a great guy to deal with. And so if you want to play a full play game, he's got a ton of seasons too. He doesn't have all of them, but he's got a ton of seasons, and he's been adding to them too. And I just dropped a bug in his ear. I'm like, hey, Mike, we need some good Tom Brady seasons here. So he's going to be hopefully adding some Brady seasons. I really would like to play, either some of the 2001 to 2004 when they went on that 3-for-4 run. That's going to be fun. Ron plays this game too, so that goes to show you, how easy it is to play, and how he can play a game like this. And he has a hard time playing cards and dice games, but he can even play this one here. And so Solitaire Pro Football is another one on my list. Well, we got to go switch to hockey here. And if you haven't tried Shootout Hockey, get Shootout Hockey. Now, this is PDF only, okay? So you're going to have to do some printing here or bring it to Staples or whatever it is. But Shootout Hockey plays in about 15, 20 minutes. And you really get the feel that you're watching a hockey game. You get the ebbs and the flows. You get your great saves. You get your goals and assists and the whole bit. And again, you really don't need to know much about hockey. Maybe the penalties. Maybe you do need to know penalties. But that's probably for any hockey game, that if you get a penalty, you got to know how many minutes are in the box and the whole bit. Shootout Hockey, one of the first games I played, and I still enjoyed it today, playing it today. You can order the fast action cards. And you can also get the fast action cards through Drive-Thru Sports for $20, I think they are. So I think I got a couple of those. And so if you can roll dice if you want, but you can also use the fast action cards, which I highly recommend. Makes the game so much faster, and it's super fun to play. And he's got a bunch of seasons too. Not all the seasons, but he's got a lot of seasons, especially some of the new ones. So if you like to play the newer seasons, Shootout Hockey is for you. And now we're going to stick with hockey. And another hockey game I really enjoy is Stone Cold Hockey from Stone Mountain Press. And again, all the links are in the description of this video. Stone Cold, that came out of nowhere about a year or so ago, and Ron and I started testing it, and we were blown away by how fun it is. And again, you don't need to know anything about hockey with this game. You roll the dice, you follow along, you have stamina meters, which are super fun because they do come into play. So if you get a penalty, if you go on a power play, that's great, but you lose some stamina. So there's always a trade-off in this game. And then later on, you might need to do a stamina check. But Stone Cold Hockey, I think they have a print version and a PDF version, and I think the same with the teams. Super fun to play. And they have a PC version. I think it's over at ASG Games. They have the PC version of this game, which plays pretty close to the board game. And you can roll your own dice in the PC game. So Stone Cold Hockey is another fun one. The PC game, you can actually play a game in about a minute. You just keep hitting the enter button. It rolls the dice for you. So like, enter. And it keeps rolling the dice for you. And you can get through a game pretty quick. You get a full box score. And it simulates a lot of stats too. And it simulates other games in the PC game. So if you want to play this along with the season, you can do that as well. So Stone Cold Hockey is another one I would recommend. Let's see. Going back on my list here. We're going to go next to Downey Games, and we're going to go to Momentum Football. Okay, Momentum Football is another one I like to play. I think it's my favorite drive-by-drive game on the Downey website. Downey has a few drive-by-drive games. This, I think, is my favorite one from Downey. And I know they don't have many seasons, but the seasons they had are fun. Now, this is the game that you can get actual stats. After the end of the game, there's a whole sequence of rolls that you can do to get stats for the game. I've never done it. I think Ron did it one time. I just like the fact that you have an offense, you have team cards, and they have offense and defense, and you roll to see who gets the control, where you're reading from. So if, Baltimore has the ball and they're playing Pittsburgh, you roll the dice to see if you look at Baltimore's offense or Pittsburgh's defense. And that'll give you an idea what happened on the drive. You roll for extra points and you roll for field goals. I really like that in my drive-by-drive games. And I've had some weird results, not going to lie. I've had some weird results with Momentum Football. But all in all, I think it's a solid game. And I enjoy playing it. And again, Downey obviously has their big sales all year long between, Black Friday and the springtime. They have one too. So Easter, that's when it was. So anyways, I enjoy playing Momentum Football. So that's kind of a little hidden gem here that I like to play. Up next to my list is Franchise Hockey Manager 11. That just come out. I've been a fan of the franchise hockey series since Franchise Hockey Manager 2, which is, I still think it's up there in one of my most played games on Steam. When I go back into the how many hours you played games, I think Franchise Hockey Manager 2 is still way up there. That's how much I like this whole franchise here. They went through a couple of dark years with 4 and 5. They did some things that were kind of weird. With 6 and 7, they kind of brought me back in, and now with 11. Whereas you can now play historically the American Hockey League. So I'm playing my Worcester Ice Cats from 1994. That's a big deal for me. And so that sucked me back in. And they've added the 2D chalkboard, which it's a little bit better if you want to watch that. But if you like hockey stats and running teams and a big hockey sandbox, Franchise Hockey Manager 11, I do recommend that. I picked it up when they first released it about a month ago, and I've had so much fun with it. It really is. And this is one of those games where you don't play anything. You're not holding a joystick and playing anything. You're just kind of clicking around. And what I love about this game is the idea that you go into commissioner mode and you can do whatever you want. If you want to trade Bobby Orr to the Golden Seals, you trade Bobby Orr to the Golden Seals, and you see how he does. I put Bobby Orr when he went to the Blackhawks. I actually traded Phil Esposito to the Blackhawks, so I had Tony, Phil, and Bobby Orr in the Blackhawks, and you just see how it plays out. And it's so much fun. And you can, change people, change the lines if you want to do. You can get into scouting. I mean, you can really get deep with this, or you can let the computer handle a lot of it. And one of the other things you can do is you can go into a season, you can release all players in the free agency, and you can do a fantasy draft. That is super fun too. You can change the league, you can add teams, you can decrease teams a whole bit. Franchise Hockey Manager is really fun. If you're a hockey fan, you can really go back into history and create some really fun times. So that's another one that I do recommend. And then I think the last one on my list, this is 3D6 Gaming. This is from Al Wilson. Okay, and let me see if I can scroll down here. Let me go to my prints. Okay, and this is one that you see me use these on my channel, and these are great. I love the helpers. Okay, so you get the football, you get baseball, I think he has hockey and soccer. Yeah. So all these different things, they're about the size, a little bit bigger than your cell phone, and they fit right on your table, and they help you keep score. I really love the fact that, you get the scoreboard right there. Now, the scoreboard is angled back a little bit. So for anybody that's streaming, it's angled back. So you can really see the scoreboard here. And you see how it says guest and home and visitor and home. I've actually printed out, and you probably saw on the channel, I printed out a whole bunch of team names. And I slide those in just on cardstock with a green background, and I slide those in so I could really customize my scoreboard here. But yeah, 3D6 Gaming's is from Al Wilson, and I love these things. He, in full disclosure, he gave me the football one in Ohio, and I said, okay. I says I'll do a video on it, and I did a video on it, and then I started using it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I use it all the time. When I'm not keeping stats in the Pro Football Helper, if I just want to play a game and see where I am in the field and keep my score and my time, this is what you want, okay? And then for the baseball too, you got your innings, you got your outs. If I go down here, let me scroll down here to the one, the generic one that I bought here. I bought the generic one, and you got your innings, your outs, and your players on base, and that's great. I mean, whether you're streaming or not, you can see what's going on in the game. You never forget where you are. And I like to have some visuals. I like to doll it up, as you know. And so that's another one there. So that's my rundown. Payoff Pitch, Football Fury, regular season basketball, Solitaire Pro football, Shootout hockey, Stone Cold hockey, Franchise Hockey Manager, Momentum football, and if you're looking for accessories, 3D gaming. So those are some of my recommendations here as we go into the Black Friday / holiday season. We are recording our Black Friday show tomorrow after I do my game. I got a game tomorrow, so when I come home tomorrow night, we're going to record it. And yeah, if you can believe it, it's going to be a little bit bigger than last year. I thought last year we had the biggest show we'd ever do. And when we started getting the feedback from the community and the developers, I was like, wow, we're going to have a small show this year. Then all of a sudden, boom, we got a lot of feedback here from a lot of people. So we're going to be adding some new things to the list this year, so I'm pretty excited about that. So that'll be recorded tomorrow night. Well, I'll try to get that up tomorrow night so you can get that right in the pipeline Sunday night, Monday morning. So if you can start revving up for your Black Friday sales and stuff here. So anyway, so I want to go to the chat room now So anyway, that's Santa Dave. Ho, 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 as I try to show you some games that I play here on the channel. Again, aside from the big ones. We all know the big ones, but I wanted to throw some games at you that you might want to check out either during Black Friday or the holiday sale or whatever it is. And I thought it'd be fun to do that. Okay, back to the chat room here. Midlife Crisis comes by. Hi, how you doing? Barbara here. Hopefully you got your power back on in the snow, because Barbara's out there in the Pennsylvania area. And you know what? Yesterday, I did some games yesterday for the showcase. And the team that I broadcast for, the Northern Cyclones, as you know, up in Hampshire, they were playing at a different rink. And they had a couple of games canceled yesterday because the teams they were playing were from Pennsylvania and they couldn't get out with the snow. So, yeah, so we had some teams from Montreal. We had some teams from Ottawa, some teams from Pennsylvania, from New York. And the Pennsylvania teams couldn't make it, so they had to cancel a couple of games. I wasn't doing their games, but I heard about it. I was doing the Montreal teams yesterday. So, yeah, so the snow was bad enough that they couldn't get out. John comes by. Good to see you, John. Thanks for coming by. Always fun to talk to you, John. And Bob, of course, loves my Ranger jersey. The Rangers, yep. I pulled this off just for you today so I could talk about some hockey games. Midlife says, no need to buy tons of stuff, but I did pick up 3 season section PC baseball for $20. I'm good now. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. David C comes by. Thank you so much. I did yesterday while I was at the rink, because I go to this rink like once a year, and they have a little press box. It's actually a box, and I took some pictures and I did a video of that press box there yesterday, and I put it up for like it was the members only last night. And it's this little box. It might fit 2 people. I don't know, but it was kind of fun. Because I usually just in the stands and I'm like standing next to people and it's like, oh man, this you have your own little box. You're still next to people, but at least you're boxed in. I felt a little bit more, I don't know, professional. And I'm up a little higher too at this rig. So I thought I had a pretty good day broadcasting yesterday. And let's see who else is here. JC comes by. Good morning, David, friends. Is this a Sears catalog edition? Yeah, kind of like a virtual Sears catalog edition, JC. I just want, again, what we do here on the channel, we explore games and we look at different games. We play the big games too, but there's a handful of games I thought that I like playing them, and so I thought I would share them. Now, there's a whole bunch of other games that I haven't played, so I can't share them because I haven't played them yet. So the games that I showed here today are games that I would recommend to anybody. And let's see here. Charles comes by. Thanks for coming by, Charles. I have a rare day off. I took this morning off because I worked last night and I'm working tonight. So I said, I don't want to keep working too much. So I took this morning off so I could do a little video for you guys and catch up on a few things around here. So that is that. And yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. But yep. So I'm not even going to read that one because that's going to be for tomorrow's show. But yep. And Charles says that Solitaire Pro Football is his favorite football game. I think it plays so fast. That's what I like about it. You get those fast action cards and you're ripping them out, and you got the defense that's, you don't really calculate much. You just look at what the defense is. It just works. It really does. And it's an older game. For some reason, though, it doesn't feel like an older game. Okay, it doesn't feel like a new game, but it doesn't feel like it's something that's so old that it's like, well, we've all played those games that have been around 100 years and they feel a little dated. This doesn't feel like that. For the first time I played it, I really liked it. And me and Mike have a good relationship too. So I'm happy about that. Gerald comes by. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Charles also likes Stone Cold. Yep. And Barbara, Stone Cold for the PC. Yeah, that's Stone Cold for the PC. Yeah, I think you would enjoy that. I was kind of thinking about you today. Like I was wondering if there's a game that we do here, whether it's cards and dice or computer, that you would like. Action PC is having a huge sale today. And I'm giving that away because it's a Saturday morning sale. And their hockey game is pretty fun too. I think the Stone Cold's a little bit better. It's more cards and dicey. Action PC, there's no dice rolling. You're just kind of clicking on the lines and setting it up. But you do get a nice chalkboard. But the Stone Cold PC is fun because you can roll the dice or you can have the computer roll the dice. And you follow along to who's taking the shot. Does he get the goal? That's how Stone Cold is. And I've done some videos on my channel for the Stone Cold PC. But yeah, that's a real fun one. Yes, and Stone Cold. Yeah, that's what we knew what you meant. Charles says, I don't like sports sim PC games. I like to know what's happening, and you really lose that when the PC is taking care of everything. To a point, I would agree with you. I enjoy rolling dice. That's what I like to do. As you know, and I started with the PC games, and I enjoy them, and I still enjoy them. But there is something about, I'm set up here again. I have my Pittsburgh Pirates. You have Frank Tavares here, ready to go, and John Candelera as my next game is Pittsburgh and Atlanta as I'm playing my Strat Basic tournament from 1976. And so that's up next. I forget who won the last game. I don't know if I'm in game 1 or 2. They're all running together now, but yeah, I'm rolling the dice, playing Strat Basic, and just having some fun with it. I really am. I just wish they had a little bit more seasons. I would have, I was ready to pull the trigger on some Strat, and I haven't yet. And I did something else, which I'll do in the Black Friday recap show. But yeah, I enjoy the tabletop stuff too, but sometimes it's nice to have that option of like, I just want to chill out tonight and click the mouse and follow along, and just, I don't want to have to set up anything. So PC sports sims have their place in my my gaming world, that's for sure. Robert comes by. Thank you so much. Oh, he's going to the Panthers game tonight. Nice. Are they still playing in Sunrise? I thought they used to play in Sunrise down there, but Robert's been playing some Strat hockey. In fact, he's got me thinking about playing Strat hockey. That's why I picked up these things here. My little these are my Strat holders here. And again, I got them all set, ready to go with the baseball here. So they hold them on my table here. Thanks to Victor for those. And they do a nice job. I've been trying to find a holder for some of these cards, and these cards holders from Victor's are great. They really work really well. But you got me thinking now. When I saw you playing the Strat hockey and Victor come out with these stands, and I was like, this might actually get me to pull out Strat hockey and put it on the table, because now I can have the cards being held here, and even Strat basketball too. I've been meaning to pull out Strat basketball basic mode as well. And interesting. Robert ordered Hockey Bones. Now that is very similar to APA, Hockey Bones. The only difference being there's a lot less charts. Everything's on the cards. Okay. You do a lot of math in your head, not a ton of math, but some, and you got to know, who to check on the board there when you're going up against on defense. So if the right wing has the puck and you need to see if he's taking a shot, then you need to look at the left defense, the left wing, and the center to see if he can beat their total number to get the shot on net. So it's a lot of quick math in your head like that. In a way, I think it's easier than APA. Again, I've fixed APA. I've used a lot of different sources to fix the APA game to make it work really well for me, as you've done with some games. But with the Hockey Bones, you don't need to do that. I think that's the one and only game I've pulled out and put on my table that I haven't had to do anything. I haven't had to fix or adjust or homebrew anything to make it work for me. It just works. So Hockey Bones is a pretty straight shooting game. There are some things that I think APA does better than Hockey Bones, and there's some things I think Hockey Bones does better than APA, but they're 1A and 1 and 1A on my tabletop. So I'm interested to see what you think of that. And Barbara says, yeah, she was 6 hours without power and heat and 4 feet of snow. Holy cow. Who gets 4 feet of snow before Thanksgiving? Well, I guess you do, right? Alan says, good morning, Dave. Solitaire Pro Football looks like a game to try for me as a Black Friday present. Yeah. Solitaire, again, I like it. There's so many things I talk about with Solitaire Pro. I went back to it when I was sitting with another replay guy, Hooray, Mike there, when we went to the Hall of Fame. I didn't get to pull that game out until afterwards in the hotel, and there was a few of us sitting there. And I says, Mike, when did you try this game? And within seconds, he had the game picked up. I didn't have to coach him at all. He just picked up the game and he was rolling the dice. He's like, geez, there's no dice to roll. Sorry, there's no dice. This cards. He goes, I really like this game. And so it's a sleeper. That's why I put it on the list. Solitaire Pro Football is kind of one of those sleeper games where you're like, man, I never really heard of this one, but it's easy and it's fun, and they have a lot of seasons and it's inexpensive. Again, all PDF, but they're team sheets. So you print out the team sheet and you have everything right there. And the fast action cards, I really like those. I do. And Barbara says she got more snow on Thanksgiving. Oh man. Robert said, I ordered the printed cards. They're not cheap. No, but they're fantastic. I actually I have a whole bunch of PDF seasons for Hockey Bones because they were fairly inexpensive. And same with Payoff Pitch. I look back, I was like, man, I have a lot of PDF seasons with Payoff Pitch because I got them during a sale. And I never printed them. I just went right to, I went right to Payoff Pitch and ordered my Payoff Pitch cards. And then with Hockey Bones, I went right to Drive Through and order them. And they are fantastic. Fantastic. They're playing cards. They're awesome. The Hockey Bones cards are awesome. And I have a handful of seasons, and I got a good, good chunk of change in the Hockey Bones because I played the game. I like the game. I like the cards. And I'm thinking if I'm going to, by the time it takes me to print everything and cut everything, because they have everybody. Hockey Bones has everyone. The goalies that played one game, you'll get. And if you want to play that goalie, you can. And that's what makes Hockey Bones super, super fun. If you want to play an as-played game, you're going to have them. Some other games, you might not have that player. So I'm interested to see, but they are expensive, but they're so good. And if you're going to play it like the game, you want to have good cards. That's what we do. This is our hobby, right? Our hobby is playing, and we do things like that. We buy good cards. We buy stands like this. We buy little dice rollers. We buy certain things. We buy like this mat I have here in front of me. We buy things like that to make our hobby more fun. And so, yes, I always recommend if you can get those cards, get it. And Helen says he likes the press box videos. When they're going to turn on the heat? Yeah, that video I did for the members only was in the press box. It was kind of neat. It was a blue press box. And yeah, I had myself, so I could put my bag in there and my drinks and stuff. And people left me alone. And the heaters were right in front of me, but they weren't on. And it was cold in there. And it's a long way down. It's a long way down if you saw the video. So I had to walk all the way down and go half the length of the rink because I'm at center ice. And then all the width of the rink just to get to the bathroom and warm up. So I had to, between every period, I was doing that. So I got my exercise last night going up and down those steps over there is what I did. And that restaurant has a restaurant. That rink has a restaurant right in it. So when you get on past the bathroom, there's a restaurant. So you can go in and get a pizza or a coffee, stuff like that. So that was good about that rink. I do like that rink. And that's why I did that video. Kind of show, what I do from time to time. Some of the other rinks, I just stand in the stands and I get people standing in front of me. They see, I got the headset on, I got the camera next to me, and they stand right in front of me. It's like, yeah, I can't see the game. Come on. Rob comes by and says, recovering from a bomb cyclone on Tuesday in Vancouver. Really? There were 200,000 people without power. One more advantage of cards and dice over PC. I guess that's one way to look at it, right? Is, when the power's out, you can still roll the dice as long as you have some kind of light source on you. Yes, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's terrible when that stuff happens. There was a day here a while ago, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, coldest day of the year, 0 degrees, 0. And the power went out at 9 in the morning. The wife has gone to work, and I'm sitting here alone. It's like, boom, power goes out. Now, there was light, but it was 0. And I'm down here in Studio B, and I couldn't work on the computer because we had no electricity. And I remember just like going upstairs, and I watched the temperature just drop and drop and drop. It got to 55 degrees in the house. 55 degrees is freezing in your house, okay? Because we're all used to having it around 68, 70 degrees, whatever, sometimes more in the summer. 55 degrees in the house is cold. It is cold. Luckily, the power was on in 3 or 4 hours. So it was during the day. So it wasn't like we were freezing at night. So we got lucky there, and they got it back on at noon. Right around noon it come on. And then it took forever to heat up the house. And I remember I was on the keyboard trying to get stuff done on the computer, and some of the keys were not working because they were just so cold. Yeah, so that is terrible, but hopefully you're okay. And Z Dufferman, yes, I am live this morning. I'm not usually home on Saturday mornings. Usually I'm at the rink, but this morning I took it off so I could get some things done. And as I got the dogs barking upstairs, that's the wife's retired now, so it's nice having her around, but it was nice having the house to myself, and she would take the barking dog to work, so I could get a lot of stuff done quietly, but we do what we have to do. And Charles says he's enjoying on the turf, but 2 hours a quarter is just too much. I played that's the 49 Sports from Grant, right? That football game, I played the quick Tix version of that, and it moved pretty well. It was difficult. It really was. However, for myself, I didn't have a problem with it. It was difficult. There was a lot of things when you're reading the directions, but as you play the game, it just kind of worked for me. And some games just click, and I think we've done a show on that, when games just click, and others don't. It doesn't matter how simple the game is. There was a simple game I was trying to play one time years ago with Ron, And I'm like, Ron, I can't get it. And he's like, well, it's this. I'm like, why would it be that? Why wouldn't it be? And I just didn't understand the train of thought that the developer did when he created the game. No fault of him, no fault of me. It's just, like if you describe something to somebody, they might be coming from a completely different angle on it, and you'll be like, wow, that's not what I was thinking. And so there's some games I just don't get. 49 Quick Text Football, I got, and I enjoyed it, and I need to get back to it because I had a lot of fun with it. And Charles says that Mike at Solitaire Pro Football is a great guy. And you just noticed the hat. You just noticed the hat. My eyes are up here. My eyes are up here. Just saying. And chat is now open. Everyone. Yep. And Midlife says, hey, am I? My back here, I scrolled back. I think I screwed up here. Yeah, I did. Somehow I went I'm still used to this, getting used to this here. I scrolled all the way back. So now I need to catch up here. And where are we now? Oh, where are we? Doug says he's recovering from digging now 10 inches of snow in Pennsylvania. Okay. Yeah, and again, we had two teams that were supposed to come out here to Massachusetts for the showcase, and they never got out of Pennsylvania. So, yeah. So, Doug's still shoveling out along with Barbara. Barbara says, I'll go to Action PC and take a look. Yeah, head over to Action PC, Barbara. They're having a massive sale right now, and you can get the game and some seasons fairly cheap. Just pick out your favorite seasons. And once you get them installed and up and running, that plays pretty well. And you can put in logos and stuff if you really want to doll it up and rinks and stuff. And, it's something, Ron and I could probably help you with. The Action PC community is actually really great with that stuff. It really is. The Stone Cold, a little bit easier, I think. It's more rolling dice if you like to do that stuff. The Action PC, you're kind of clicking on, do you want to pass? Do you want to shoot? It's a little bit more involved, and it feels... I don't know how to say it the right way. You don't feel quite as connected to the game as you do with Shootout and Stone Cold, but it's still very, very fun. Charles says he tried Action PC Hockey, didn't care for it. I can see that. Some people, it's just not a good fit. RJ Hale says, what's snow? Snow is the liquid version of hurricanes. I mean, the frozen version of hurricanes, just to kind of put it in there, And PJ likes the Rangers. Yes, my buddy Ray around the layout sent this to me. And I've been looking to get a Rangers jersey, and I still might go get a blue one with Park on the back. I want to get Park on the back. He was my favorite Ranger. And PJ says he had Action PC too and didn't work at all. Yeah, I can see how that. It's worth trying. It's not an expensive game. I think you can pick it up for $20 right now, and seasons are on sale, ridiculously cheap. It's worth trying. I've played it. I like the chalkboard with Action PC, how you can see the puck moving around and can see the guy with it and taking the shot. I do like that. So the Action PC games are fun. They are, but yeah, they're not cards and dice. And that is what regular video games are for. Well, to a point. I mean, the thing is that, with regular video games, I was going to bring out a prop here, but I don't have my prop. You got to do this, and I can't do that anymore, at least not as well. And so that's why I do the sim games where I can just sit back. Well, the favorite thing I like to do, when I started playing, Football Mogul and Action PC and all that, I could do this. Sit back with my mouse, and I could do this. What do I want to do? And I don't have to worry about this and pushing buttons fast enough. I can just sit back and enjoy the game without getting mad that my dexterity is not working. And that's what made video games not fun for me, is I just couldn't do it anymore. Now, there's some games I did have fun. I know Barbara played the Assassin's Creed game, and we would chat while we played our Assassin's Creed, and you climb pyramids and climb the Sphinx and all that stuff. Super fun. I enjoyed that. I could do that years ago. But when it comes down to the Call of Duty games and the hockey and the football, I can't really do that stuff very well. Well, let's see over here. And then Doug says, Robert had to deal with the hurricanes. He deals with the snow. Yeah, there's no perfect place. You always have something. Rob said he had a shovel. I thought he said he had a shovel party. Shovel 8 inches of partly cloudy from my driveway. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. He had partly cloudy, and he got 8 inches of snow. Yeah, we've had a dusting before, and it's turned into a lot of snow as well. And Gerald says, just started playing Payoff pitch last night. I stick with it. Stick with it. And the fast action cards make it work for me. I had a hard time with some of the Payoff pitch there because I was overthinking it, and when I stopped overthinking it, I started to enjoy it very much. I did. And now that I got the system down pretty much, I got the running down and I got the bunting. I'm still working on the stealing and the sacrifice flies, but from what I've seen, that's not too difficult either. So that's slowly turning into my favorite baseball game, Payoff pitch. And what I really like about it, as the wife's back there doing some Christmas stuff over there, what I liked about Payoff pitch is they have everybody. So there's been a couple times that I played some of the bigger games, and I go into like Digital Diamond, and I was playing a game. It's like, don't have this pitcher. Don't have this shortstop or whatever it is because they only played a couple of games. So Payoff pitch solves all that, and I think it's a moderately complex game. Like Ron says, he calls it an advanced game. I'm not thinking it's an advanced game. I think it's more than a basic game, though, is what I think. So anyway, here, and Action PC Hockey says, Charles, if you want a quick result machine, Action PC is great, but I want to play a hockey. If I want to play a hockey game, it fails. Throw your DM with suggestions of hockey and baseball for you to play that won't cost you a fortune. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I will do that. And Doug says, play of the game basketball from Donnie, which is having a sale now, and it's very fun. Yeah, I had that. I bought it years ago, and I found it in my folder somewhere. And I thought it was just kind of a roll and just add the points. And I was like, it's kind of dumb. But when I started to really get into it and looked at how it was fun because you start at the bottom, and then you work your way up to the top, as far as talent goes. So you start with the bottom guys and see if they get like a couple of points or whatever it is. And then you work your way all the way up to, the Kevin McHale's and the Robert Parrish, and then Larry Bird's usually at the top for the Celtics. And then it tells you how many points they get. So you're adding the points as you go. It's very similar to regular season basketball where you're accumulating the point total as you go. So you don't know who's going to win the game until you get to the last guy and you're rolling the dice to see how many points they get. And so, yeah, play of the game basketball was having some fun. I should probably get another season of that. I did enjoy that. PJ says he didn't like how the puck would jump from one end to the other. And I think he's talking about Action PC. Yeah, Action PC, again, it's not a smooth game, but it still is the best hockey chalkboard out there that I've seen. It really is. It does a really good job with that. A couple of times it's kind of weird, because it'll say like Ray Bork has the puck and it's really like Mike Milbury. So there's been a few times that I've run into issues with the chalkboard not matching up with what's going on with the chat. But again, with the not the chat, the play-by-play, the box that says what's going on. So there's been a few times that it's kind of been kind of weird, but for the most part, it's all right. Charles says Solitaire Pro Football is great. Yeah, I need to do more of that back here on the channel. Marlon says he misses the striper tee. Yeah, I know. I got 2 striper tees. I got to go dig one out. I haven't put one on in a while. I wanted to wear the Rangers one here for Barbara because I know she was dealing with some snow, and I thought this would kind of make her happy. And Daddy Kingslayer says, just got the full Monty of WHA seasons from Action PC. I think I did too. I think I bought them all for Action PC at one point. Haven't played too much of them. Mike in the truck comes by. Thanks for coming by, Mike. And let's see. Charles says, actually, that's not quite true. Honky Bones does not card players who only appeared in playoff games. Just ran into this with my replay of the 59-60 playoffs. Okay, that I didn't know. Okay, but I know that if you're doing a regular season, everyone's in there. So maybe that's based on regular season, not playoffs. So that's something to consider. But for me, that's not a huge deal. Because I can't think of too many players that jumped in just playoffs only. I can't think of too many, but obviously you stumbled on one. But again, for me, that's a fine trade-off. If I can get the guys that played in the regular season, that's for me. And, okay, Chicago had 2 players that only played in the playoff games. Okay, so that's interesting. So that is that. 55 is, it's like in his trailer without the heat on. Yeah, it gets cold out here. And Barbara says it was 50 degrees. Oh boy, and 30 outside with no power. Yeah, it gets cold. Yes, that gets cold. Oh, and you are playing a quick deck. They're still taking you a long time. Yeah, it's a complicated game. Yeah, and he says he likes the game. It's just too long. It's a complicated game. It really is. But for me, it worked. And when I was flipping the cards and you get the two different decks, and I'm going through them all, and I didn't have a problem. I really did. I was like, oh, I'm having some fun with this. And I followed along. And again, I was playing 76 Tampa Bay Bucks against the Minnesota Vikings. And I went for a long pass and I flipped the card that said everything was complete. So the long pass was complete and Tampa Bay got a touchdown. It was like 55-yard throw from whoever the quarterback was. And it was that, I think, is that only card in the deck that every single block was checked off as a complete pass, even like the 10% chance. And that led to a touchdown. And I think I had to roll 2 to see if it was deflected. So the defense had a chance to deflect it and they missed it. So everything fell into line for that Tampa Bay touchdown. So there's a lot of fun to be had with that game. 11:35, I was just having breakfast. Yeah. And quick decks. It's a long play game. It's going to take you a couple hours to play the football game. The hockey game I haven't played yet. It's behind me over here. Grant sent me the hockey game. It was supposed to play that live here on the channel at some point, and then he got busy, and then I got busy. So we're still going to do that. That's still on the table here. Is what it is. Charles is eating 10 a.m. local time, so he must be further out west than us. Barbara says she's done with the snow already. It's only Thanksgiving. Yep. Charles says, PJet, in response to PJet, detailed stat taking and journaling each play for my replay reports, which he posts on BGG, is about 8 hours. Oh, yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, if you're going to do a lot of cataloging, then yeah, that will be. Who has the best 61 baseball season in cards and dice or PC? That I don't know, Marlon. That's one season I don't play. 61 is a little before me, so I really don't play that. I did pick up surprisingly, I did pick up a season for one of these games that I'll reveal in my Black Friday recap show. And we'll talk about that. And I'll do an unboxing when it gets here. But you might be a little surprised about what season I got. A couple of seasons, actually. I did a little bit of BF shopping early. And so I got a couple things I'll show off. But that maybe the chat can help out with that. Frank says they played a game between the 80 Reds and the Braves last night. Reds 162 bench hit a 3-run shot, and Braves Biff Pocoroba got tossed for arguing balls and strikes. He's going to buy some more. Now, was that payoff pitch? I think you were talking about. Was it payoff pitch you were talking about? I have 1982. I was playing that season a little bit. My thing I was playing was I'm playing 76 Strat right now. As you see, I got the cards here right on the table because I wanted to pull out a Strat season that I hadn't played yet, and that's one I bought last year when it came out. So I want to play that. And oh yeah, Bob, we played a lot of Diablo. Yeah, that was a fun time. I haven't played the new one at all. I haven't even turned on my play. I turned on my PlayStation about 6 months ago, just as I was moving stuff around because I wanted to update it. But I just don't go on there that much. I just don't need to. Yeah, it's too early for the snow. Yeah, it is. And Charles says Starfield has been his biggest video game time sink lately. I don't know if I know what Starfield is. I'm kind of falling out with the video game stuff. And the grinding is too hard now on the hands now with video games. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it really was. Oh, yes. Sharon's behind me doing some Christmas stuff there. She's getting ready for decorating the house. She does all that when I'm at work, so it works out. But now she's down there going through all the things. Let's keep Thanksgiving before beginning Christmas. Yeah, well, we're just kind of talking here today. We're just talking. And the story on the turf tells us great. Yeah, it does. Some of those long play games are fantastic. And he was assuming we were talking about the hockey game. We didn't know there was a football game. Yeah, and he's got Canadian seasons too for his football game. So yeah, so he was talking football. Oh, Frank's playing Appa Basic in his 1980. Okay, yeah, I do like that too. I may or may not have picked up an Appa Basic season. May or may not have. We'll have to see. I can't give it away right now. PJ, nothing says 1980 Braves like Biff Pocoroba. Oh man, what I love about the old seasons, not that 80s an old season, but when you go way back, you get like I had was it the other day I was doing, was it 1905 and 1908, and I had Frosty Bill pitching. I love stuff like that. There's a lot of docs back in the day and kids back in the day, Kid Carson and stuff like that. I loved having JT Hetrick on when we talked about 1899 baseball. That was a fun conversation. I'm not a huge baseball fan. I still had a lot of fun with that. Daddy Kingslayer says he loves Action PC for the stories it tells, the creativity and ease of dolling it up. Yeah, I love how you can put the logos in, the fields in, and the ice in, whatever you want. You can really make it look like you're right there at the rink. You can do a bunch of things with that. And the stat package is great. I like the stat package. It really is. And Barbara says she played the new Diablo but did not like it. Okay. And Starfield is Skyrim in space. Okay, yeah, I think I have heard of Starfield. I still play Skyrim from time to time. I think I bought it here on Steam, just like on a sale, so I have it. So now I have it on Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One, and now the PC. And it's just how much I like that game. And I'll fire it up and play it every now and then because I just like doing the side quest. The main mission I could give or take now, but the side quest is so fun. Oblivion was another good one. The Oblivion side quest that I enjoyed the most, because what I did was Oblivion. That Oblivion was before Skyrim, and I would get on my horse and I would skirt the map, like I'm kind of doing here. So I see this, like this is the map, and I would just skirt the map all the way around the edges, because as you discovered things in Oblivion and Skyrim, they would appear in your map. So I would ride around on my horse and try to discover things, and I would open up cities and places that I think you could fast travel to at that point. And I stumbled in one city, and people were talking to me, and I couldn't see them. And the whole town was cursed, and they all were made invisible by this witch. So you had to go seek out the witch and either negotiate with a witch or kill the witch, whatever it was, so you could come back to town and lift the curse. And I thought that was one of the most unique things I've ever done in a video game, because people are talking to you like, am I losing my mind here? It's like, no, there are people talking to me like, hey, we're here. We're just invisible. You're not losing your mind. We've been cursed. And that was, I still remember that to this day. That's one of the very, very favorite things that I did in a video game. And Alan says for Marlon, he started a 61 AL season with replay baseball cards and dice. Yeah, that's one I should check into too. I tried that on the computer and I had a hard time with it. But I mean, I tried it cards and dice, and I couldn't get it to match up to the computer. And I got really frustrated with that. And that happens to me when I'm playing a cards and dice game, and it's supposed to be like the computer game, and I can't get them to jive. I do get upset at that, because it discourages me, because I'm like, okay, I'm trying to learn the game, and if I can't get 1 and 1 to equal 2, then I'm all confused. But I guess there's a setting that I need to check to make the PC game play like the cards and dice game. But I do like to replay. I like to replay basketball too. But yeah, so check that out. They have a freebie sections that has the extra plays for free. Okay, that's kind of good. Good. That's kind of neat. And P-Jets going 70-71, Minnesota at Boston. Eddie Johnson and Cesar Maniago. That's some good stuff there. I was going Apple hockey. Yeah, I have that season. I pulled out. What did I pull out the other night that I played with Apple? Oh, it was a Gretzky game. It was oh man, that game was unbelievable. It was 81-82, Edmonton at Chicago. It was Moog and Tony Esposito. Tony Esposito was in his late 30s at this point. Edmonton scores 5 in the first period. It went up 5-0. And then Chicago chipped away. They ended up chasing Andy Moog when they made it 7-7. And I brought in Ron Lowe. And Chicago went on to win 8-7 after being down 5-0. And that was with Apple hockey. Fun time. It really was. Yeah, Alan, thank you so much for helping out Marlon there. And Barbara says she has Starfield and she likes it. Okay. And get the PC version. Okay, maybe I will. You know what I got the other day over the summer sale? Not the other day, but the summer sale. I got No Man's Sky for the PC. I have it for the PS4, but again, I don't use a PS4. So I picked it up. It was fairly cheap. And I just like flying around, the idea that you can jump in any ship and, in the sandbox mode, whatever it's called. And you just go up to the guy and say, hey, can I have your ship? He said, yeah, he gives you a ship. You swap ships. So, you don't have to make any money or do that. And you can just fly through space. And I like going to the planets and checking them out. And I'm on like infinite mode, so I can't die. So I like to swim through the water and look at stuff. It's just a very relaxing game, No Man's Sky. And it took a long time to get there, but it is relaxing. And you can still play the regular game, which you need to find things for your oxygen and fuel for your ship and stuff like that. So they're still there. But if you just like to kind of putz around, that's it. I'll have to check out the Starfield, and I will get the PC version. My watch is telling me to stand up. Yes, I know. I need to go. and get some things done here. Let's see what else we got here. Charles says the ability to use the command console to fix glitches is unfortunately necessary. Okay, because that's why I just play cards and dice. Yep, and some people do. Yep, yep. Barbara says I've been playing more games on Steam with my PC. They're just cheaper than the PlayStation. Yep, and they can be. And he's waiting for Matrix Slytherin to start their sale. Okay, way to go, Demi. And Charles said, I never got back to No Man's Sky. I was too burned by the hype of what the game was going to be at launch, which it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. And they say that. But honestly, I waited. I got it, and then they did the updates, and it was better. And at least the guy fessed up. The guy said, it's not what we wanted on launch, but we launched it. Now we fixed it. And, all these updates were free. And like all the PS4 updates were absolutely free. So it's not like he said, okay, for another $10, I'm going to do this. So yeah. So anyway, well, I got to jump out here. I got to go help the wife do some house cleaning here and get ready. And I'm going to still finish some work here from Thursday night. I'm still backed up from Thursday. So I want to thank everybody for coming by. So yeah. So again, the first part of the show was me talking about some games that I played. And let me see if I can run through them one more time here real quick. So for people who tuned in late, I'll run through my list of games that Dave recommends. All right, so let me put this back on the screen here. So again, so the kind of the hidden gems that I like to play that are not maybe the biggest name games that you've heard of here that you can take a look at for Black Friday or Christmas. So Payoff Pitch, Fury Football from Play, regular season basketball, Solitaire Pro Football, Shootout Hockey, Stone Cold Hockey, Downey Games Momentum Football, Franchise Hockey Manager 11. And again, if you like the stuff that I use here on the channel, Al Wilson's 3D6-Gaming, you can pick up some baseball, football, hockey, or soccer, and you can use those on your tabletop, and they're really fun to use. So those are some of my holiday recommendations. So that is that. May see you later on tonight. I got a later hockey game tonight, so it would be 10, 11 o'clock if I come on tonight, because I have my baseball set up here, so I want to kind of keep going with that. I don't want to give up on that project. This has been a fun Strat Basic baseball project. So, and I would need to get this done before anything might come in from Black Friday. Just saying. So anyway, I'm Dave. Hope you enjoyed this video. Oh, I don't know if I can show this or not. Oh, can I show this? I do want to say thank you here. So let me see if I can do this. Alrighty, so hang on a sec. I want to see if I can show you guys this. This just appeared. Okay. I got a new achievement on YouTube. I have 1 million views on my YouTube channel. That just popped up on YouTube, and I was like, oh my gosh, really? So thank you so much for tuning in here. I got 1 million views. I don't know what that means. I didn't, didn't give me anything, but it's just an achievement to come up. And I thought it was kind of neat that I have 1 million views here on the channel. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, and hopefully you like what I do here on the channel. But yep, I got 1 million views, whatever that means. But so that is that. So I thought I would share that with you, because that's something that popped up, and I was pretty excited to see that. So anyway, I'm Dave here from Studio B. Just a little Santa Dave here. Ho, ho, ho. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Maybe I'll catch you guys tonight after my game. Let's see what my voice feels like after the game. All right. Bye-bye.